Okay, a new day, so let's continue playing. Because I'm actually pretty excited when it comes to playing this game, so... and okay, let's hope this... Oh yeah, let me talk a little bit about... I don't know if I'll start editing these episodes, because the first 3 episodes I'm not doing any editing. But I'm thinking of maybe start doing it from now on. Or maybe I'll just the thing is that if I just wait until I get any feedback, then I'm probably gonna finish the game before the first episode gets released. Because I mean, example, I'm recording this on the 21st of January, but the Pokemon Let's Play that I recorded last year, that I finished recording last year, that one, no, I did not mean to do this back. The Pokemon Let's Play I recorded last year is gonna end in the middle of February. Then I'm gonna do the Spec Ops one is gonna get uploaded. So this one is probably gonna be uploaded late February, maybe early March. So, let's see. So you want to analyze this. You first need to analyze the components you found to unlock new recipes. Click on the to analyze components. Alright. Did that do anything? Let's see, can we upgrade the hacksaw? No, we need some common handle parts. Oh, this is a weapon that you can absorb blood when you use it. Ah, alright. Alright, well, good to know.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. The flower's dying. It needs water.
Alright, well... Before we do that, I actually want to check out... We have some of the most brilliant minds in London. I want to, like, explore a little bit. Maybe this will be a catch-up thing, because I want to talk to some more people that I haven't spoken to. There's a lot of characters here. Oh. The game started loading. It took me a time to like wait.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor.
That haven't happened before.
Been introduced yet? My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
I do not understand that. There's a euphemism.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke
That
Hospital?
it will be
It's
helpful.
serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Let's see. The Spanish flu won't last forever.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
I don't know if I want to tell her to get a grip. Just... Let's ask her. You've been a nurse for how long?
How long have you been a nurse?
Or long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You would be surprised. Maybe. Let's see. Wait. Oh, okay. So when there is a Y, I wonder if that's the case. If there is a Y, that means I cannot go back. This is like the Y symbol means this is like a specific choice that you have to make. Yeah, so let's say change your attitude. No, I mean she's a volunteer. The thing is that she's a volunteer, so let's say you're right. Well, let's say you would be surprised.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
There we go. How's the staff coping?
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Let's ask why.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Well,
Milton's not
depression.
the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
So we have Milton's reputation is mediocre, and they are a couple. So I have one more hint to unlock for him. Go back and let's see your relationship with Milton Hooks.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes, Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey,
Sure.
I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke.
I
But we
mean,
do our best to get by.
why would you get fired?
That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
I mean, even back then, like, what was the thought of it? You know, I mean, I assume it's because he's Indian, but let's see. Did I ask
How would you
this?
describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious.
Okay.
The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff
Wait, I
and
can't skip.
patients. You're running out of everything.
Should I say get a grip? No, that's fine. Let's just... Personal questions? Okay.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Boom. Alright, and who are you?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed, yes, I've been informed about your arrival.
Waverly
Ackroyd.
Akroyd.
Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Akroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Okay, so he has a 4 mesmerizing thing. And I mean, I don't have any I don't know anything about him. And his social circle are 2 people I don't know anything about. But it's a big social circle as well.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Yeah. So we know that he disproves modern medicine methods. Well, maybe not it's necessarily just modern. It's more like the experimental where you don't know. If you are open to your patient that this experimental, do you know the risk, blah blah blah. You talk to them, check up on them. I say that's fine. Otherwise, I don't think you should just experiment on people.
Dr. Akroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Alright. Should we say that jealousy will not do you any good? Or should we be like, yeah, no need for animosity, bitch. No, let's be a little bit snarky with him.
Aren't you too old for such jealousy? It really won't do you any good, you know.
Don't be ridiculous, Dr. Reed. A simple glance is enough for me to know you have nothing for me to envy.
Personal questions? Bad memories of your military service?
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Akroyd.
Agreed. I prove my value. I mean, I don't think we don't have to, prove ourselves to this guy.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Oh, hello.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a
Strickland.
great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Alright, let's... Personal questions? Okay, nothing. So... you're in the same circle as... Akroyd. Alright. Let's ask about his aversion to modern methods.
What do you think of Dr. Akroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Akroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Akroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Yes, alright. Tell me about yourself.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
Let me ask about his experiments.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Yeah, I like you, Strickland.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed
Money.
to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Yeah, but was that... Well, let's
It's
see.
always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
Alright, go back. Let's ask about the
What can you tell
hospital
me
as
about
well.
the Pembroke? Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Let's ask... Do you need any help?
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Okay, local investigation. A new citizen investigation is available. Press... I'm pretty sure that's the select button to open a local investigation menu. Citizen investigation. Citizen investigation is displayed here, categorized by districts. You can start a new citizen quest by tracking it with X, then access your map. Okay. Okay, so that's how I can do. Ah. So both of these guys have something to do with this. So I guess this guy might be blocking Strickland's research.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Huh. Let's ask about the technique.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Both.
Good question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Let's tell me about his story.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Huh. Let's say you must remain neutral.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Akroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know
Yes.
is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Yeah, I like you, Strickland. I like you.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Oh, what happened here? Okay, this is the tracking thing. Man, there are so many people here to talk to. So I think this episode, it's just gonna be about talking to people. So that's probably what I'm gonna like preface that. And then the next episode I'm gonna do, you know, side missions. Alright, Harvey, let's talk. After I loot this. And this. What the fuck? It didn't go to the unfinished letter. Let's see. Here we go. Pembroke Hospital, the second of my dear children. Sorry I did not write to you before, but it hurts like hell just to write these few words on bloody paper. Don't worry, Dad will go out of the hospital as soon as the doctors fix his arm. In the meantime, if you need something, go see Mr. Chadwick at the construction site and tell him you're Harvey Whittick's children. You remember Robert Chadwick, the big guy with the mustache who helped me repair the house last spring. Go see him and ask for a few bob. He won't refuse to spare you a few. I'm sorry I can't work anymore for now, but we'll figure out something as soon as I'm out. Don't worry, everything will be fine as soon as Daddy's arm is strong again. As soon as the doctors have fixed my arm. Alright. So we know a decent amount about this guy now. So actually, before we talk to him, let's talk to Akroyd again. Hello, Akroyd?
I'm quite busy.
Life in London? There we go.
Tell me, Waverley, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Is your rivalry blinding you, or let's say, why do you wish to lead this surgery?
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Whew, okay. Now. Since I do not know. Is the conservative point of view, you will assume the consequences? Let's say that.
Other people may say that's too conservative a point of view.
Conservative? And what are you going to say to Mr. Fiddick if he loses his arm because of the operation? Because that's what's going to happen if the surgery is a failure.
Alright, let's say, is your rivalry blinding you?
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Back, personal questions, anything? Let's use this in case it brings something up.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Akroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
No reason to justify my actions to you. Yeah, I think that's good. Or should I tell him that, knowledge is our main weapon? But he'll say, well, you're using these men, Like, did they, consent to experimental stuff? This is a moral dilemma. Let's just say no reason to justify my actions to you.
I don't see any reason why I should justify my actions to you.
That's true, Dr. Reed. The only judge has to be yourself. The question is, are you judging yourself hard enough?
Thank you for your time.
There we go.
You always knew the words to calm the children.
Oh, hello.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you
Goswick.
check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Let's see, do I know anything about you? Well, the social circle is her son. complaints?
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Okay, yeah, so these people are a little bit higher class than the others.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Huh. Alright. She charged you?
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Alright. Tell me about
What
yourself.
can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any...
Yeah, it's like, I married rich. Personal questions? Nothing. Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Doctor, I will not let you down, my boy.
Hello,
Good
Mortimer.
evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Let's... Your life in London, let's ask about the throat.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get some rest.
I'll let you get some rest then.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick.
I'm okay.
About your hospitalization.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
You have a good mother.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Alright.
How painful.
So painful.
We must communicate.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Just tell me about yourself.
Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
I have to go now, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Huh. Okay, so I need to get his mom away from him. Okay, Harvey, hello.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Peahc. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Doctors arguing about your case?
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Akroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
About this hospital.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Alright.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Peahc.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Okay, go back. Personal questions. Why feel guilty about your injury?
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
Okay, so we have full here. Harvey will not be able to feed his family. Died during the war. Does he mean that he maybe went to war, then she died because she had to do something?
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Peahc. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Well, that's not your fault.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
Let's ask about the children.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Still saying that so many died during the bombings is like... I mean... Yeah, sure, but, you know, like...
Tell me what happened.
Let's say
I'm
that
sorry
anyways.
for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
And then ask about the family.
You seem worried about the safety of your family. And it's obviously the reason why your wound troubles you so much.
I cannot give up on my children now. They both need me living.
What about their mother, if I may ask?
Well,
She
she's
died in
dead.
1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids. We never found her body.
Goodbye for now.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen.
Okay.
What a blunder.
I feel like Dr. Akroyd would probably be the better doctor for him. Because I don't know if he needs a blood transfusion. That's something I'm a bit like, is that something he needs? Your...
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Yes, we should, but before we do that, we're gonna talk to a bunch of people.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Jadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Jadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Huh, okay. Let's
Please tell me
trade.
what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
This formula written on a piece of paper seems complex and needs to be analyzed. Okay, he has some opium and codeine. Ah, alright. Well, let's sell 2 of these. And I want to buy the formula. Let's buy 1 opium and 1 codeine. Let's buy 2 of each. There we go. Oh wait, I want to talk to you now.
Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Let's see. Your life in London. Have we met before?
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Like, oof. My sister is dead. Let's see. This guy has no relationships. Do you work here alone?
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why watch these bodies? In case they
Why
rise from the dead?
These bodies.
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
How did you get the job?
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm actually gonna pause this because I have to go to the bathroom. Oh god, alright, I'm back. Jesus Christ. Now let's see. You are a pawnbroker?
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Let's sell. Who comes here to trade?
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe.
Like, oh,
Diseases can
confidentiality.
spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods do you sell?
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Let's ask, do you believe in life after death?
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No.
I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like my position as well. I would not want to live forever, but I do want to live a decent amount of time. Let's see, goodwill won't last. So you're, well...
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
You're like, if only you knew, Rakesh, if only you knew. Let's ask this as well,
you're
why not?
ready to die.
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed, I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Alright. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
Okay, let's see. I mean, we could mesmerize this guy, but... Oh. Okay, he has fatigue. If I could heal his fatigue, that would help.
I wish I could be sick again. Feel my blood boil with the fever.
Disgust on every street corner. The daily.
Okay, let's see. Did I walk in here? Yeah. I want to find that nurse that is taking money and all that. There we go, Pippa. Let's ask her about that.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Oh, it's not a personal thing?
How would you describe...
It's serious.
Let's say, get a grip, bitch.
You must get a...
Sorry. I'm not...
Oh, okay.
How
long in...
You'd be...
Okay, it's not something we can ask her about.
Goodbye, now.
I thought it was. Well, if that's the case, it feels like I probably talked to everyone. Oh no, there is one unknown right there. Oh, but it's inside the locked room. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I think that is probably a good time to actually end this episode. But before I do that, I'm gonna go to my room and let's see. Was my room here? Dr. Reed, yes. I'm not gonna sleep. I am going to go to the bench right here. Let's see. If I recycle that, I get a glass vial. Sure, let's do that. And this will give me 2 spring. Okay, sure. And I'm gonna analyze this. Oh, it gives me treatment for a cold, for bronchitis, and pneumonia. So what do I need here? I need quinine. Okay. So I can't do anything. I cannot create. Can I upgrade my scythe? I need common handle parts. Ah, this actually could be pretty good to use as a secondary, because I do get some stun from it. Oh, I think I saw something glowing. A long letter. Hello sis, how are things in the big city? Here in Brum. Lucy, Paul, Mom, Dad. Okay. So it's about to Pippa Hawkins, huh?
It's locked, all right.
God damn it. You know what? I'm actually gonna put this at the end of the next well, when you're watching this, like it's nothing new for you.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Personal question, leaving this hospital?
Pepper, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel that useful. I want more. I want to make things change.
Let's say patients need you. Pippa is thinking about quitting the Pembroke Hospital. There's one more thing. Her blood quality is pretty high, so yum yum, maybe. So I might want you to stay. Let's say... I don't know, do we want to go for that? The patients need you.
But you're doing something important here. For all the patients who need your help.
We save lives, sure. Each time we send a cured patient home, it's a relief beyond words. But since the epidemic, I feel so powerless.
So let's say you want to be more useful?
What steps are you prepared to take to feel more useful?
I don't know yet. My sister believes that the real fight is in the streets nowadays. Maybe she's right. Maybe this is what I must do.
Okay, let's... what about Milton Hooks? Lost faith in your oath? Let's ask about Milton Hooks.
And what about Milton Hooks? Does he share your point of view?
For Milton, any change means more comfort and more peace. I disagree.
Huh.
If you feel that saving lives is not useful enough, perhaps it means that you've lost faith.
On the contrary, my faith has never been stronger. Maybe we are all just too proud to face up to the fact that science cannot compete with God.
Oh God, alright. Anything here? Nope.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Alright. Now
Disgust on every street corner.
I'm going to end this episode. Oh, you know what? Let's talk to Milton. Hello, Milton.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor.
Your mediocre reputation?
Why do you have such a mediocre...
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
He's like, I've seen this city was like Gomorrah before, you know, this pandemic hit. Let's ask about the relationship.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit.
Tired
of all
we're
those
fucking.
fortunes piling
That's what
up.
we are doing.
She's as depressed as I am.
You could both get fired. I don't want to say that. I really don't want to say that. That's like, Nurse Hawkins.
Do you know that Nurse Hawkins is thinking of leaving the hospital?
That's not a surprise. We've talked about it already.
Does it not bother you?
Sometimes I think she may be right. We should run away while we can. Question is, where can we go? Where is it safe?
Oh god, I feel like I have
going
to
on?
say that. I feel like I have to maybe progress
You
something.
do realize you could both get...
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know...
Yeah, there we go. He's like, come on. Things are being broken
Goodbye,
here,
Milton.
you know, all the time. Now, fuck. Now I'm ending the episode. Goodbye.